Hi, my name's LeRoy Hyatt. I'm co-host of Fly Tying the Angler's Art. This will be the Adams. We use a black Gudbrod 6/0 tying thread. I'll use grizzly and brown combination for the tail. The body material will be muskrat, and I'll use the grizzly and brown combination again, but I'll use it in saddle hackle to wrap the body. I have a size 12 dry fly hook in the vise. I'll dress that shank. Now with this one, I'm going to tie the wings on before I do anything. I like to tie the wings on these, that way I know they're positioned right and I don't have to worry about them when I come back through. So we'll just pull a couple of these hackles off. I'm going to put them so the shiny side and shiny side is together. What that will do is flare those wings apart at a natural angle. The wings should be about the length of the shank of the hook, or twice the gap, whichever it is, however you measure it. Take a soft wrap, cinch it down, and I'm going to wrap forward just a little ways. Now I want to come in and clip that off. I don't need those anymore. I'm going to stand those up and let all those little barbs fall down. Now it wouldn't hurt anything to leave them in, but I'm going to go ahead and clip them off. I just wrap those wings down, and I'll just release my thread now and let those wings stand right back up again. I'm going to separate those two wings, figure 8 between them, which will keep them separated and upright. Still got just a few there. When we tie the hackle on the front, those will all blend in, but to me they just kind of get in the way as I tie the fly. Come back to the back. Your wings are all set. Now on the side of each neck hackle you get, there's what they call a spade hackle. You can see the fibers are considerably longer. They are also stiffer. That's what I want to use for the tail material. So I'll just come to the side of each of those. I'll pull a spade hackle out. I'll get rid of that bottom section. It's too fuzzy. I don't want it. And then I'm going to peel just a little bit down, even them in my fingers best I can, pull it off. I'll do the same thing with this grizzly hackle. I want to try to keep as many fibers even as I can and about the same amount. Sometimes that gets to be a little tricky, but we'll see what happens. Now I've got grizzly and brown together in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and trim the butts off, and then just kind of roll them in my fingers. What that does, it just kind of mixes the grizzly and brown all together. Lay them in there, tie a soft loop, tie it in place. Make sure you keep that tail on top of the hook. So many times you see flies that the tail is rolled around to one side. Clip a little bit of this muskrat. Now you can get synthetic muskrat on the market where you don't have to fool with this, but I'll show you what to do in case you don't have it. Now there's a lot of guard hairs left in here. I'm going to come in and just pull out all the guard hairs I can get. This Adams fly we don't want spiky like we do some of the other nymphs. Now that's left with nothing but the under fur. We'll dub it on, wrap it on the thread. Now with this you want to keep it very sparse. Very sparse. A fuzzy thread is really about all you want. So go through, the more dubbing material you get on that thread, the harder it is to control. You can always go back and put more dubbing on, but when you get a real mess of heavy dubbing on there, it won't create a nice tight body. You can't make the taper. Start back at the tail, and then I'll work forward. And I want to come backward just slightly again because I want that taper. I'm going to have to put just a little bit more dubbing here just to finish that front taper off. And I hope you can see how little I am using of this dubbing. The old standard thing is take what you think you need and then divide that by half. You want just a fuzzy thread. And you can see I don't have very much there at all. Now I'm just going to go over this front section again and just build the taper. And there's that. Now I'm ready for the hackle. I pulled a couple of these a couple of these saddles off. I'll tie one of them in, then tie the brown one in. You want these to be about twice the gap of the hook. Now you see I had 2 wraps over that grizzly. I unwrapped one. That just keeps the bulk down. I'm putting that other wrap back on there right now anyway. Then I'm going to get my tying thread to the front. Now, it does not matter which one of these hackles you wrap forward first. Just spiral them out. I'll move my wings forward slightly so I can wrap tight behind it. And just move toward the front. Now don't forget, you can't get too close and crowd the head because you have another hackle to come forward. Then here comes the grizzly. Now these, you can see I'm kind of going in a zigzag motion. What that does, it kind of helps where it doesn't trap those brown fibers from that first hackle and tie them down. I'll take one wrap of that grizzly in front of where I finished. Tie it in place. Clip it off. Lay it aside for your next one. Build a slight head there. I got one little fiber caught. I'll trim it off. We'll build a nice head. Finish it on. Get rid of that thread. And there's an Adams. You can see the little wing standing up just above where the hackle is.
For more fly tying recipes, please visit our website, www.publictelevision.org.